Yo, what up, dude?
Yo, congratulations.
How does it feel, man?
Feels pretty crazy, honestly. It was a pretty long raid.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add everyone to the call for you, okay?
No,
That
100%.
sounds
Yeah,
perfect.
just let us know when everybody's in.
The Aussies winning, bro. An Australian man winning. Let's go.
The only Aussie, unfortunately.
Oh,
but yeah.
you were the only one from Australia on the team?
Yeah, everyone else is from the States.
So when you started, it was what, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m.?
Yeah, 3 a.m. for me.
And
Pretty-
now what
pretty
time
rough,
is it?
eh?
What time is it now?
It is 10 p.m. for me.
Oh, Lord. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
So because
We're about the grind.
we didn't get a chance to see your guys' POV, so did you guys do it off stream?
Yeah.
I was streaming, but privately to just group members.
Gotcha. How did it finish? How did it feel? Did it live up? Like, I mean, was it? How did you feel about the
That
final battle?
was, in my opinion, my humble opinion, that was the greatest raid in Destiny history, without a doubt.
It was also the
Not close.
longest.
By far.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
That was
That was
Well,
a
actually,
really
Stealing
well-made
was-
raid. Amazingly well-made raid.
So Salvation's Edge World First took longer than.
Yep.
Yes. So Last Wish was
Last Wish, yes.
18
Last
hours and 49 minutes. I believe you guys would have went. We look at your time, but I'm assuming it was probably 19 hours and maybe a few minutes. It couldn't have been a little bit longer. Let's see. What did this say? Let's
It's
see
not
if we-
gonna have everything fully.
If-
updated
Our
yet.
clear,
Oh, what were
our
you
clear
saying?
was like 1,120 minutes, I believe, was where we ended it.
All right. So math.
So I think that's like 18 and
hours,
2/3
57.
hours, 18 hours 40 minutes. I
There's
think.
a raid report out
Wait,
yet?
then
No, the
wait,
raid
if-
report's not
so
up.
It doesn't sound-
if it was 18 hours and 40 minutes, then it actually would have been 1847.
1857.
Oh, 57. Okay, if it's
Yeah.
1857, then you guys were about 8 minutes after Last Wish.
Wow.
That's insane.
Wow, man. That's crazy.
Dude, I mean, congrats. I
It
mean,
was on purpose, really.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It was strategized.
I want to say thank you to Intel and Starforge for sponsoring today's video. Starforge went above and beyond for us when it came to Raid Zone, so please click the link in the description. Starforge PCs are the best PC on the market and have powerful next-gen components. My favorite thing is the UV printed cases and the plate-light designs that let you design your PC in your own way. They're super easy to configure and you get a 2-year part labor and warranty. I mean, look at this beauty. Intel Core 14th Gen processors deliver high performance and efficiency thanks to a groundbreaking new performance hybrid design. This includes the Intel Core i9 processor, the Intel Core i7 processor, and the Intel Core i5 processor, all offered within the Starforge product lines. Thank you so much again to Starforge for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get back to the interview.
man. I mean, in terms of the raid, since we didn't get a chance to see your guys' whole run, like, what was the biggest, like, hold up, like, for you guys, like, you struggled on? Was it the puzzle? Like, where did you guys, like,
Yeah.
struggle?
Yeah. You got it, Asher.
Yeah, sure. So, first boss actually, we struggled on survivability there. There was actually a lot of challenging scenarios where the new ad types that were added with this DLC would cook you. So, we had a lot of struggles on first boss. We were actually very far behind. I think we were 2 encounters behind. Still stuck on first boss for a long time. Big thanks to our coaches, Chillax and Soon. They gave us all the info once we finally did clear to catch back up. They helped us crank out the encounter right after that. And then we finally got to 4th encounter, which everyone was stuck on, in which we had a lot of huge brains in this call right now that had some really creative ideas on things to try. I think after beating our heads for how many hours in 4th encounter, like everyone else,
It had to be
we
like
finally-
6 hours.
yeah,
It was
we
definitely
finally
longer
hit
than
a
that.
moment where we're like, it worked. Finally, it worked. We're like, oh shit, no one else knows we're ahead of the game. So we got out of 4th encounter before anyone else, to my understanding. Got to final boss, and we spun our wheels a lot on final boss as well. The white mechanic there is very challenging to solve, to kind of test. What is it? The witness.
The witness's test. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one was another one of those. It was almost like 4th encounter again, where solving that mechanic was a challenge. But again, big shout out to my teammates, Giga Brains, coming up with some really good solutions and keeping their level heads throughout the entire thing.
I feel like a lot of our struggles also came from just being not used to new subclasses. Like me specifically, I tried to use Prismatic a lot and just not a lot of time to practice on that new stuff. So it was really a struggle. But as soon as like I swapped off to my like preferred loadout of just solar and like how I know that gameplay loop works a lot, so it was a lot simpler for me to just survive and like kill ads and all that. So
That doesn't surprise me
On
hearing
top
that,
of-
because we had said a lot
Yeah.
when we were casting that we almost saw no prismatic. I think we might have seen
Yeah.
2 times of
It's just-
everything
yeah.
we watched. Anybody.
Yeah.
use
It definitely feels kind of weird.
just not a lot of time to get practice on it, right? Like, you know, it comes
Yeah.
out, you only have a few days to really build crafting, and people just aren't used to it. So yeah.
Yeah, I think on top of the well nerf and nobody really knowing how to like manage the damage resistance on a lot of these bosses anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and especially with no spoiling, but with the way the witness's damage encounter works, once you get in phase, it is very exciting, and it definitely poses like a new threat. I don't think anybody's ever.
I'd
seen.
actually be very curious if you guys do have a recording.
Sure, yeah.
If we could,
I recorded the whole thing.
if there's like a way to upload, even if it's just the witness fight, we'd love to see it and show it to everybody. Just the world's first. It might take a while.
Would
if
you
it's
just
the
want to
full
link?
thing.
Would you want to link to the stream, or would you?
Yeah, that works.
prefer me to?
No, a link to the streamer is perfect because it would take a long
Okay,
time
cool.
for an upload.
How was the thing that they told everybody to stay in the game for and not go to orbit? Was it cool?
Yeah, it was pretty
Um,
cool.
Yeah, I'll be back.
We actually
You can definitely
was
want to
a-
experience yourself.
there was a mission to launch afterwards, and we definitely orbited right
Yeah.
after. So we actually didn't even
Yeah.
do the mission
Well,
right
there's
after.
also the cutscene, obviously. Cutscene.
Oh yeah, was there a cool cutscene?
Yeah, right after you finish, there's a cutscene, right, guys? If I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is
the
a
ra-
cutscene.
Now that the raid's
sounds-
been
it's-
completed for the first time, there was a cutscene once you return to orbit,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
showing
it
that like the
is-
witness
it's
was
a very
thwarted,
cool cutscene.
very Avengers Endgame-esque. Is all I'll
Oh, dude, I was like, where has this cutscene been from like the promo trailers?
Right.
Because it was like a bunch of
Mhm.
yeah. We'll have to pull it up in a second, guys. But I want to say a huge congrats, and I feel like y'all have been close. Because in Crota, you guys came in third. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yeah, that's
That's
right. I remember
correct.
messaging you
That
on
is
Twitter,
right.
reaching
Yes.
out for some of that video. Yeah.
It's all good. I mean, I just know that, yeah, it must feel really good to like kind of come really close and then pull off, in my opinion, when nobody even knew that you guys had done it until it was already done.
Yeah. Crota was kind of like disheartening for us. Well, I don't know if that's exactly the right word, but
Mhm.
we were heavily prepared with like rockets and all that, and it ended up being like a sword meta boss, and we just weren't prepared for that.
Yeah.
And it just kind of threw us off on that. So it was nice to like be prepared for a final boss and execute on the strats we were expecting to use. That was really nice.
How
for
tight
us, at
was the
least.
damage? Like, obviously we haven't got a chance to see it yet, but how did you guys
Um,
do with witness damage?
The final stand wasn't that bad. It's more so just playing your life. If you learn how to play your life correctly during the final stand, you probably should kill him as long as you have ammo. It's mostly just
Just
not
the-
dying.
The whole damage phase in general, you need to understand how to just live.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
mostly
to
about
put
living
in-
rather than pumping.
To put in perspective, we almost two-phased while focusing on our life, so you can kind of gauge it off that.
Gotcha.
So
That
it's
is
kind of like
okay.
yeah.
So it's more of like a puzzle
Yeah.
than it
Yeah.
is like a damage test.
Well,
Yeah,
not really.
Mhm.
It's very
the
like
most
Final
unique we've
Fantasy-esque.
seen.
I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen
yeah,
boss fights
yeah,
like that, but it's yeah.
It's a lot of avoiding soaks and continuously moving while doing damage, which is like a very new thing for most of Destiny bosses, right? Outside of Nezarec and Rolk.
Right.
Sit still, shoot fire, like everything you have essentially is the traditional style. But for this boss, I'd say it's probably the most unique damage phase we've seen for a long time. It's a lot of very small radius and then dodging a lot of very lethal attacks. It'll insta kill you, which I think we had a lot of issues on at first, and then we just got the reps in, and people finally got it down on realizing that you don't really need to be trying to min-max damage. His health bar isn't actually that insane. It's more so just making sure you don't die, truly, more so than anything else, which is pretty unique in my mind for most of Destiny.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
How would you say you guys did on the first boss? I know we saw some teams struggle with that. Like, how did you guys handle that first boss?
We struggled a lot, actually. We came back from 2 encounters behind because we got stuck on first boss for so long. We had a lot of survivability issues just in between phases. The damage was pretty free. It was just surviving and getting mechanics done. There was a lot of instances on the left side and right side where the environment isn't as friendly as middle, where you have this open space with a lot of safe areas.
Right.
So if you had to kind of pulse back the mechanic to the other guy down below and a fresh ad wave would spawn, it'd be very dangerous. And so we actually got hung up on first boss for a long time. So big shout out to my teammates, their mental up on that, and then our coaches, of course, for getting us back in the game, speeding us up on third encounter and what people knew fourth encounter. So we were able to come back from that afterwards. So yeah, first boss was
Just
definitely a struggle.
Kind of like recapping our first two encounters. Like on our first encounter, we really struggled with understanding like the timing on conduits.
Right.
Because if you step on too early, it'll cancel. And we just had a lot of like deaths and issues with figuring out what we wanted to load for run for loadouts. So it was just like a really slow first encounter from us. And then yeah, obviously on second encounter we were just dead a lot. The conduits really posed an issue, and the ads just on the when you split into 2 groups of 3, or 3 groups of 2. It was just really hard to keep your lives in check for us at least. But yeah, after that it was just kind of playing catch up.
What's impressive? I mean, to not kind of lose hope or get down on yourselves down at a few encounters is really dope. That you guys were able to persevere, especially after you said that in Crota it was kind of a tough kind of pill to swallow with how it ended. To be able to bounce back.
The elation we felt when we like knew we had solved like fourth encounter after making a comeback in front of everybody was like the biggest like adrenaline boost and like confidence boost because you're behind the whole time and then you realize you're back in front. Like it was just like what we needed at the time.
Well, it's definitely
I was watching Twitch Rivals at the moment, and they were saying that they had a rumor that some team was that final boss, and I knew what team that was.
Well, well, yeah, clearly. Well, congrats on that. I mean, that was super impressive, and I mean, admirable as well to come back from behind and pull off an insane comeback. So congrats, y'all.
No, y'all cracked out. Seriously.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks guys so much.
Yeah. Well, enjoy your victory, guys. And I heard there's a 12-player activity that's out right now. So
that sounds insane.
Yeah, it sounds insane. So.
Oh man.
Well,
that'll be fun.
Let us know about, I guess, the link if you're okay with us taking a peek. And seriously, just congrats. Like, just what an insane way to finish this like story of 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having us on.
Of course.
Right. Yeah.
Well, enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know what you guys are going to do to celebrate, but go celebrate.
Yeah, go celebrate.
Now it's time to help our coaches through, Gotta pay them back.
Yeah, time for the reclear. Time for the reclear.
Yes, honey.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
You as well.
Thank you, guys.
Later,
Have a good one.
See ya.
Later, guys. Have a good one.
Peace out.
Okay.
There it is.
There it is, guys.
World's first.
We just met a brand new world's first team, and
Parabellum.